Okay, I'm going to sandwich the quilt, and I heard one of the YouTubers say that if you spray the batting and leave it for about 10 minutes, the wrinkles will be gone. So I'm going to give that a try and we'll see if it's actually true. Boy, Christy, I sure miss having you here for this. I should have clamped down the back before I did this. That was... I got anxious. I wasn't doing it. But I'm going to spray this. We'll see if those wrinkles come out, and I will see you in 10 minutes. Okay, it's been 10 minutes and it didn't do anything, and then I remembered this is polyester, and I'm pretty sure it won't work on polyester. What you need is cotton, but I think for now I'll get the 80-20. I think that's 80 cotton, 20% polyester, and do that. But I put down my backing, and I went searching for my duct tape, painter tape. The fabric falls off of it. And I had moved it a while ago to make room for more fabric where that spot was, and I moved it to a place where, oh, you know, that's a good spot. So naturally I couldn't find it. But it was the last place I looked. I'd almost given up, but I found it, so that's good because that was like 6 rolls of duct tape. And so I clamped down the backing, and I've got the batting on, so now I need to put the top on. Try and do a self-binding on this quilt, which means that the backing will just be folded over and become the binding. I've got to pin it all down. Get a bunch of safety pins and pin it every 4 to 6 inches. Okay, I've got it all pinned, and some spaces are bigger than others, but now to see if it's okay on the back. So far it is. That's good. It's nice not having to do it 5 or 6 times. Now I can take it to the quilting machine. Okay, I got on Procreate and I figured out what quilting design I'm going to use. For the 4-patch is where most of the quilting is going to be, and the embroidery blocks, I'm just going to kind of make an X to go through just to hold the batting in place and do as little quilting as possible on those blocks. And those are the ones I'm going to start with. And excuse me, I will use invisible thread on the embroidery blocks. And I'm going to use the same bobbin thread throughout the whole thing. So I will get started on those. Okay, I finished the embroidery blocks and now I'm going to start on the pieced blocks. And I'm going to be using this handy Versatool. I am not used to using quilting rollers except for that line one that you just saw me use. That one, I love that one. This will be a little harder because I can easily, go off the edge, kind of go off the ski slope there. So I have to go slower and be more careful, which means my muscles will tense up more, so I'll probably tense up my shoulders and neck if I don't relax. So, but I'm gonna give this a try. Okay, I finished the pieced blocks, and now I'm going to do, there's this border on each, on the top and the bottom, and I've got my new ribbon candy ruler templates, so I am going to give them a try. Okay, this is what I'm going to try and do for the outside border. Just make a leaf and then a curl, and then you make a leaf, it comes in the opposite direction, a curl, and that just continues on. And I haven't done this before, but I'm going to give it a try. Okay, I've got it all quilted. Now what I have left to do is I'm going to trim the batting so it's even with this. And then, oh, I need to take out the basting stitches too. Okay, so I guess I'm going to do that first. Then I will just take this scissor, and this is tricky because you gotta make sure you don't catch the backing, because if I catch the backing and cut it, then I might as well just cut off the whole thing and then I have to make some binding. If I'm successful, then I can just trim this part, fold it over, and use that as the binding, and I don't have to use any other material. So, gotta go pick this out, and I'll be back later. Okay, I've got all the batting cut away. I've got the basting stitch picked out, and now I need to trim this extra batting. I'm going to trim it to 3/4 of an inch. Okay, now that I've got everything trimmed, I'm going to take my clips, fold it in half, and in half again, and these will hold it till I get to sewing it. When we come to the corner, okay, and fold it like that, then do the same thing, fold it in half, Okay, and then I will do that to the whole quilt, and then I will be ready to sew it down. And once it's sewn down, the quilt will be finished. Okay, now that it's all clipped and ready to sew, I've decided to just go ahead and do a straight stitch. Sometimes I do a decorative stitch. I need to change my presser foot.